Hey everyone, episode 184 with the Midweek Rub. The Midweek Rub being recorded on a Sunday, which makes no sense. It was just myself, Con, Andrew and George came down to the studio. We talked a bit about Halloween, talked about parenting and the sphere of external influences, first cars, teaching humility and teaching kids to be humble, values, all that sort of stuff, changing of the guard between generations and your parental obligations and then your obligation to parents. A lot of stuff, you know. If you're the product of migrants, you know, if you're a child of migrants, they'll probably hit home pretty hard. We've all got lingering PTSD. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, enjoy.
There are improvement works ahead, so this train will terminate at the next station.
Fake news, sir. Fake news.
Take me outside, how about that?
Are you Muslim?
He should have been slapped as a child. He's a spoiled little Greek brat who's probably been treated like a prince.
I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
For the record, first episode we did as a group, right? Going into it, I mean, you've got a history in radio, so you understand the ins and outs of recording, right? And you've done an episode before, with just me and Malaka here. You have done multiple episodes. You've done episodes with me and Will. You've done episodes with me and this guy. You've come on. You've been in here at least half a dozen times. All right, my point is, he was bringing you to this, right? The placement of the mics was my fault, right? I didn't spend enough time configuring everyone up to get the best recording, right? So it was on me. But the recording came out fine, okay? It just took more work to edit, all right? But this clown... I said, because he's messaged me saying, how's it all going? I go, it's a bit of a nightmare just because of the thing. But if you remember, I had a go at him at the last thing I said. You're talking to the mic, stop moving away from the mic. And he's adamant about, no, I am, I'm talking to that. And it's like, I've got literal proof in front of me. In sound wave form.
It's like, literal. And then everyone went, documented proof.
When you can see it. And I'm like, I'll print out the waveforms so you can see it.
Just standing there. Look at him. He's just standing there like...
No, because it's commendable.
I'm not standing. I'm actually sitting.
Yeah, it's commendable because he'll take direction. If I tell him to come closer, move forward, whatever, he does it. You always pull up the butt
I'm not a fucking sheep, though. That's a difference.
He takes other things.
He likes being told, you know what I mean? That's the difference.
No, because he recognises...
Give him a gimp ball in the mouth and it'll be all yours. Yeah.
Con. There are roughly...
Bring out the gimp. Yeah.
Go on, get the gimp. Dude, that is one of the coldest signs, like, gimp's asleep. I'm going to wake his ass up. Like, man, they got a guy in a leather suit in a box. They got a...
There we go. The standard.
Oh, the levels just dropped.
Out.
Can I ask, that movie came out, 94, 95?
Yeah.
Somewhere there?
What movie is this?
Are you kidding?
Fiction, man. Pulp Fiction. Yeah, fuck, I haven't seen it. I don't know word for word, man.
Pulp Fiction and Gimp are like yin and yang.
Oh, you guys are fucked.
Do you know who Quentin Tarantino is, Con?
Tantantino.
It's such a... It's Sunday morning.
Easy like Sunday morning.
This would be a bit of a different dynamic.
And it is.
I was going to ask the question.
Midnight,
In Pulp Fiction, was anyone prepared for the gimp?
Oh, no.
No, definitely
way.
not.
I mean, you got a little bit of expect the unexpected.
Because it's Tarantino, yeah.
Plus, by the time we get to there, it's already had a little bit of, twists and turns.
Yeah.
But that one just took, like,
Completely left field.
bring out the gimp.
Zed is actually one of my favourite actors. The
actual actor.
Yeah, I keep forgetting his fucking name though, but he's in The Mask, is the villain in The Mask.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in The Usual Suspects.
Oh, that was another great movie.
Yeah, where he plays at the contact at the pier or whatever for the job. He's just total sick cunt, man. Yeah.
I've seen it probably 15 years ago, maybe.
You watch movies, yeah? What do you actually
Doesn't this
watch?
feel like deja vu last time we were talking about it? No, I don't know anything about that.
Hang on. We're talking about old school TV series. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but the theme is the same. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know, man. But fuck, if it's got no Van Damme or Stallone, I've got no interest. What can I tell you, man?
Cultural nourishment, man.
Cultural nourishment.
Pulp Fiction was like huge. Like it's still huge.
Yeah.
Good.
Iconic.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a line in
good
the
on them.
sand of like this is what filmmaking in the new age is like. It's like film noir, almost like with the twists and turns and
Yeah.
the suspense.
Have you
Time
seen-
Cop.
Cop is filmed.
Have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah. That.
All right.
See, the thing is, I
He's
enjoyed
redeemed
that because
himself a
look,
little
at the end of the day, that movie for me had
Tits.
everything. One
Snake dancer.
we got white pussy, black pussy, black pussy. We got smelly pussy. Oh man, that was a great movie.
That was cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So the good thing about that movie, I had Pulp Fiction probably had the same, but it had so many different genre of movies, man. It had horror, it had action, it had, Western, it had everything, man.
Yeah,
And it's all-
obviously,
and same thing.
during
it
that
went
time-
left field, and you're just, robbery, blah, 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 and then it went to vampires.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then you had, like, A-grade bloody actors, like Pulp Fiction as well, but for some reason, I would probably say, for me, that movie's more, I like a lot more.
Well, it's
than
not a
Pulp
Tarantino
Fiction.
movie. It's a Robert Rodriguez movie, isn't it? From Dusk Till
Tarantino
Dawn?
was in it. No, I
yeah,
think
he
it was
was in
directed
it.
by him or written by him or something.
I can't. You sort of on the right track, but I can't. He does have involvement in it. I think it's more than just he was in it.
Yeah, but Robert Rodriguez is Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
Did you
but
watch-
in that time? They were at their peak.
Did you ever watch Four Rooms? Tell me you've seen Four Rooms.
4 Rooms. The rings a bell, but I
you're
can't
missing
remember.
out, man. So Four Rooms. Sorry, Dave.
No, 4 Rooms. I'm just trying to think. Four
Yeah, the
Rooms.
name rings a bell, but yeah.
Okay, so Four Rooms came out in around the same period, and it's about a.
Okay, there we go. It was actually written by Tarantino and Robert.
And Rodriguez
Kurtzman.
directed it, yeah?
And Rodriguez directed
Yeah,
it. So it was
that
written
sounds
by...
about right, yeah.
So look up Four Rooms, man.
4 Rooms.
Jamie, look up Four Rooms. This guy.
Hey man, look at 4 Rooms.
Never seen this before.
I
Yeah,
haven't
4
seen-
Rooms. It rings a bell, but I can't remember.
So it's set on New Year's Eve. Tim Roth is the main character in it, and he plays a bellboy, okay, in a hotel. And there's like, X amount of floors or whatever, and he's just given the responsibility for the night to run the hotel during the New Year's Eve. And 4 Rooms is 4 specific apartments in the hotel, like four rooms, and they're all directed by a different director. So they all have distinct themes, yeah?
Yeah.
So all of them are completely
That's
different.
cool. That's cool.
Tarantino cameos in it.
A film by Anders,
Yeah, so
Rockwell, Rodriguez, and Tarantino.
yeah.
So was it a
exactly.
comedy?
It's everything. So it's
Okay.
like it's Tarantino-esque.
Yeah.
So, but there's 4 distinct styles.
No,
but
I'm gonna fire this up.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis is
Yeah.
in it.
I'm going to watch it on
Tarantino's in
your
it.
recommendation.
Yeah, done.
Antonio Banderas is in it. You know what I mean? Like there's Madonna's in it. There's so many.
Now we've just gone.
No, she's in the first one. It's a coven of witches. So the first story.
Don't ruin it.
No, I'm just telling you the first story. Right out of the 4, don't ruin it. The movie's like 30 years old.
He's never seen it before, though. What's the difference?
Well,
Can't believe that.
Okay.
Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker's father. Oh my god.
Okay, hang on. I'm just trying to think what the stories are. You got the first one with Madonna. You got the second one with Banderas, I think. The last one is with Tarantino. There's one I'm missing in there.
Okay, so it sounds like one of those anthology type.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Exactly it. That's, I'm just reading it now.
Yeah.
So it is? Yeah.
I remember the two actors.
Different story. Yeah.
I remember I remember the other story. It's a husband and wife team that plays out, but I can't remember the name of the actor in it. It's still good. But the first story is the weakest one out of all of them. I usually used to just skip the first story because it was, because I'm not a fan of Madonna, like, first of all. But I'll just say the first story is a coven of witches that have come together to, either break some curse or fulfill a
Prophecy
or something.
Yeah.
And they need the sperm of like an able-bodied man.
And he
and it's Tim Roth, the bellboy. Like, we need a man, and he's the only man around.
I actually vaguely recall this.
Yeah?
1995, but I vaguely recall
Yeah,
it.
I can't remember if I've watched it. So, sometimes you
I think
might have watched the
I am
movie, but
gonna
you
watch
can't
it now.
remember
Yeah.
because. But either way,
It's a good
I'm gonna
movie.
grab it and watch it anyway.
I've watched it maybe, I would have seen it for the first, I was in high school when I first saw it, so let's say it was probably like the late 90s, so 99 or 2000.
Oh, yeah.
And since then, I've probably seen it maybe once a decade, you know what I mean? Like maybe 2-3 times tops. And it's always like, Christmas Eve when I watch it, or some random
ritual movie.
Yeah, you know those movies that you go to just because it's like, well, it's Christmas Eve, everyone's gone, I've got 2 hours left. What do I do?
That's normally Die Hard.
Yeah.
Or Jingle All the Way.
Die Hard, the Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
No, I agree. But
we've had this argument. We've had this argument like 3 years ago on the pod, and I'm like, forget it.
What is your Christmas movie? For me, Home Alone. For me, Home Alone, for sure.
I'm over Home Alone.
Yeah, but it's still got a soft spot, man.
Just pull it down closer to you. Like this.
Home Alone was funny at the time, but I wouldn't go back and watch it.
Got that.
It just feels a bit cringy for me now.
I think it's dated for me.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't think it's dated.
It's dated because the whole concept is dated.
Yeah, the concept is.
They could go away in 2 seconds. You'd have him on FaceTime saying, "Hey, man, like you'll catch an Uber and get to the airport." You know what I mean?
It's one of those. Forget about what actually could have easily happened. Park that. And let's get on with the story.
Suspension of disbelief was okay in the early 90s because it was easy to do. Now it's too hard to do.
I mean, I know you've got a large family, but how do you not know whereabouts and every welfare of your youngest kid? Whatever.
So you're saying Die Hard is more of a Christmas movie than Home Alone?
Of course it is.
For me, yeah.
By far.
Ho, ho, ho. The whole thing.
Yippee, motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
Nah, man.
What do you mean?
No, I don't agree.
The whole thing is based around Christmas. They're having a Christmas party.
If there's a movie called Christmas, the Christmas Story with Santa Claus, Die Hard will still be a Christmas movie.
If you want to take that sort of analogy of what makes a Christmas movie better than another, then you got to go more stuff
of a Christmas movie,
It's
not
a
better.
Wonderful Life and things like that. You know what I mean?
Come up here over the window. It's free. Yeah. The snow there. Are you serious?
I don't know. For me, I think Home Alone for me is more Home Alone and Jingle All the Way will probably be
November
more.
It's November 2nd or 3rd, isn't it? And we're going on about Christmas movies.
Well, it's
we're leading up to it.
Go to the shops. Go to the shops. The trends are going up.
It started way early this year.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, but how many times are you going to say this? Every year you're saying the same thing.
Yeah,
they're putting it out too early. Well, fuck, mate. January 1, guess what? Easter eggs will be coming out. You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't heard they were talking about,
I love between all of you. This guy's just watching is like a tennis match. Yeah. It's the best.
We had, whether you're into it or not, that's not the point.
The guy's
point
still
is,
waking up.
We're coming up to Halloween, right? So obviously they're selling and promoting Halloween stuff and everything. And there's people already decorating their house with Christmas decorations and selling Christmas stuff again. Hang on, man. Let's get past this one first and then move on, you know. There's too much blurring.
Do you notice that Halloween is actually getting bigger in Australia?
I went to one of the most outrageous Halloween parties the other night.
Speaks. Go.
Yeah, outrageous because you came out of.
It was so well done. I mean, I
think you were pretty well done too.
This guy did his whole house. He actually painted the walls black. He had.
Where was this?
He painted his house.
Are you sure this was a Halloween party or a rape dungeon?
Yeah, I know.
He's
remodeling. Yeah, he's just remodeling.
He did a good job.
Shut up down here.
It was a good party. But in answer to this clown over here about Halloween, growing.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Growing.
Yeah. Shut up down there.
Come in, guys. It's a Halloween party.
Grab yourself a snack.
He's got more energy. It's middle of the day.
I think he needs one of these.
Sorry.
Who paints the wall black?
More to your question, I think it is, but there's still an element of people who are willing to. Don't forget the crust of it is that it's for kids. Mainly.
Is it?
Oh,
yeah. It's not. You know what it is? It's an excuse for every woman to get dressed up like a whore.
Yeah, that too,
perfect.
100%. But I think mainly, it's for kids, right? So if kids can have fun and it's, you know,
and then
healthy
the
and whatever,
have more fun.
I reckon all for it because I've experienced it because I've spent some years taking my niece, you know, because
it's trick-or-treating.
Yeah, 100%. Because, you know, I admit her mum was a bit, she's in that camp of, it's American and, you know, what do I want to hear? Yeah, but I'm not going to argue about it, but the point is a lot of things we do, whether we like it or not, come from America or England or France or something, right? Yeah. You can't just pick and choose and go, I'm going to eat Macca's and Hungry Jack's and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, but I draw the line at Halloween. You know what I mean?
Well, you can.
So no, you can, but not the excuse that it's American.
If the
Why
kids
is
are
it here?
if the kids
You know
are
what I
enjoying
mean?
it, man, why not?
And that's where I come back to because my niece loved dressing up. Vicky
that's a good
loved
point. I'll give you
dressing
that.
her up. She even made costumes for her. And then
I
it
can
was
see
my
you
job.
walking around in the maid outfit. So.
Yeah, I was just normal, but
Normal.
Yeah, that's not normal. That's not
I
normal.
wear this every Thursday.
Yeah, no, not that one. That was another night.
That's not normal, mate.
Anyway,
Are you trying to tell us
took-
something here?
Yeah.
I was dressed in
He's turning
normal
red.
clothes.
He's turning red.
Anyway, I was taking Mia and her friends, and we'd go around, and they'd do trick or treating or whatever, and they loved the shit out of it. So, yeah,
guys.
bear my luck up.
These guys are pantomiming.
Yeah, just wait till your grandson comes along. And he goes, Papu, I want to go trick or treating.
100%,
You know what
100%
George
I'll
will
be
be?
going.
No,
He's
George
going
will
to
be.
go like this.
No.
Exactly.
George will be like, pick up the head.
No, he's going to go, you're here, get my gimp outfit.
The whole gimp outfit, not the whole thing. Not the whole thing.
No, let's go away. My gimp outfit, yeah.
Do you know what my problem is? My problem is when it becomes commercialized like everything else, and it starts setting expectations on kids and families where they have to have a certain amount of shit to adhere to like the standard of the holiday.
But isn't that society?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
No. I get what you're
Like,
coming with that,
and
but you
I-
know
and I
what I draw
totally
the line
agree.
there? That all comes back to parenting. No matter what's going on around you,
Andy,
no, mate, there's parenting.
School as well, man. School.
No matter what's going on, it's
No.
up to the parents to parent their kids. That's the whole
Andy.
point.
No,
Make them understand expectations, make them do this, make them do that.
Andy, the social sphere around children these days and the power of this, being the phone, far exceeds, even when we were parenting our children, far exceeds the
Yeah, but
level.
that's, yeah,
the
but
level
that's
of,
irrelevant because
it's not-
everyone's
it's
on the
not.
same field.
It's not. It's not. It really
We
is
were
not.
talking the other day, and I'm not going to mention names, about certain people.
Yeah.
No. Certain
paid for
people
blood.
and how they've come out and parenting, and then there's others who've grown up through exactly the same era, sometimes even the same schools and circle of friends.
We spoke about it last night.
Well, you understand what I'm talking about now. So at the end of the day, it comes down to freaking parenting, man.
It does to a degree. Yes,
But there's some
so
stuff
to
you
cut a
can't
long
handle.
story short, we where we were last night, it was interesting that you see spheres of kids and us being involved in a football club. You get to see a lot of the kids and how they grow up, and there are kids where they take one path. And I understand what you're saying. And there are other kids that are taking this path and the kids that are taking this path. Well, this particular scenario that we saw, you could see it from when this kid was young, that if he doesn't have strong parenting, he's going to be in trouble. And we saw it front and square last night. And unfortunately, I agree with you in that part.
Yeah, that doesn't disregard that there's other influences in that. I get that. But that other influence
The show of strength
is there for everyone.
Yeah.
The exposure to this and TV and whatever, everyone's exposed to that.
Totally understand
Now,
that.
how do these parents deal with all that with their kids? That's the difference.
It's always a battle, and you're always challenging. You're challenging the social sphere. You're challenging the child's expectations, and you've got to somehow try to juggle the social expectation with the home expectation, and then with the outcome to say later on in life, what are you going to be doing? So it's always there's no definitive right or wrong answer. However, the realms of communication has to be at home, and I agree with you there.
Yeah.
You've got to have, and I only speak from my experience, that particularly when my boys were growing up, we made sure that when we ate, especially from primary school to end of high school, because they're definitive years. You formulate a lot of the stuff in between there, but the realms of communication. And I'm not saying we got it all right. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer, but it's
Unless you tried, yeah.
You gotta keep working at it. And even today, whereas my boys are now adults and they've got their own lives, you still want to be in the background. And if you get asked a question, well, you know what? That's a good thing. That is a good thing to say that They want to draw on my experience and what they experienced as children. So, totally agree with you, because what we saw last night was quite confronting, but you reap what you sow as well. Because if you say to a child and you give them this air of expectation that is a little bit inflated, well, you reap what you sow.
See, that I agree with that, because I'm out on the road a lot, yes. I met a lot of new people, and I had a conversation about 2 weeks ago. No, it was at the start of last week. I was in the West, and this woman's telling me about a son who's in his early 20s, I think. Early 20s, late teens. And something about his car or money or something. And I heard it. I'm like, hang on, man. You gave your son X amount of money, or he was able to do this, and that. Something where it sounded completely entitled. And she goes, yeah, we do spoil him a bit. I go, that sounds ridiculous, dude. I go, I mean, we're not that far apart in age. I go, but that sounds way out of like, she goes, yeah, you're right. I go, so why don't you pull him up? Oh, what can you do? I go, you're the mother. What do you mean, what can you do?
Yeah, but I guess it's 2024. And
who gives a shit?
That doesn't make any difference, man.
It doesn't make a little bit of a difference.
You can hang on. Sorry,
the
man.
The principle of values does not change whether it's 500 years ago or 2,000 years ago.
You can be progressive in your mindset and be more tolerant of different things, but values themselves don't fucking change.
It's what you value at home. What is it that you instill at home?
It's not always just at home, though, George. It's also your friend, the group of friends that they have.
Yeah, well. But we touched on that. We said that there's influences everywhere, 100%. But at the end of the day, you raise your kid, you feed your kid, you put a roof over its head. It's your kid. You guide it, you do everything for it. Now, whether that kid understands what's respect, how do you speak to your family, your grandparents, your uncles and aunties, your teachers, your this, your that? Where does that come from? It comes originally from the parents. What do you do when you're faced with this situation? What do you do when you're faced with that situation? All of that comes from the parents. Now, yes, everyone else can have little percentages of influence and that, but the number one influence is the parents.
Yeah.
Now, they can either sit there and go, CBF, you know what I mean? Do what you want. Or they can be on top of it 100%. Yeah, it might feel like hard work, but then that's what you're parenting for. It's your kid. Then, of course, there's varying degrees in between,
You can be progressive in your mindset, man, but the value thing is the same. Like, take theft, yeah? Dude, your parents could be complete racists, right?
Yeah.
But would you ever steal? No. Because your parents said never steal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's parents out there saying don't steal, but they still steal. And you say don't do it again, and then they still steal.
Now, I'll give you an example. Someone in my family, I won't say who, but they were very young. Obviously, we're talking
family under the bus.
We're talking primary school, right? Very, very young. Went down to the newsagent and liked something. Let's call it a little toy or something, right? Just really wanted it. Stole it. Came
so
home.
It was actually George with a gimp mask.
Yeah. I said not naming names, all right? Anyway, come home. Cut a long story short, Mum finds out. Now, Mum could have said, what'd you do that for? Whatever. Take the CBF route, maybe. But no, she took him back there.
Yeah.
Made him apologise, et cetera, et cetera. What was the whole point of that? She went out of her way, took him there. There was a bit of embarrassment involved. There was, stress, anger, whatever. But she did it because she wanted him to understand that was wrong and there are consequences and the whole shebang. That's the whole point of what parenting is about. And that's how you teach values.
That's part of it. Yes.
Yeah. I agree. 100%.
Because if you try and sweep those sort of scenarios under the carpet, invariably what you do is you're enabling that sort of behavior.
That's right. If she didn't do that,
and if you're enabling that sort of behaviour, well, you reap what you sow again.
He could have gone, you know what, next time I'm going to do that, and next time I'm going to do that. That's the whole point, what you're trying to do. Teach them the right from wrong,
I've got a question. This is going to be for everyone, right? Because it's going to be interesting because we're all from varying stages in in age gap. Your child's first car, 18 years old, right? Let's assume you're giving him a bit of money to buy it, right? And they've got some money to put towards it. What car, how much would you let him spend on their first car?
Obviously, it depends on the era because
That's what I'm saying.
Because our era,
I want to know because, like, as of today,
let me.
I'm asking because I've got a lot of friends with kids that have just turned 18 and they're all getting first cars. I'm like, what the fuck?
Mercs and Beamers
I bet
and
you.
shit.
Yeah, I bet. Yes, he's right. I see a lot of that too.
Look, just going to put on record, I'm not expecting him to fish out like a 1987 Datsun Sunny or something, right?
Yeah, give me one.
No,
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to go find some scrap heap Saravalor with like wind-up windows and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Electrics are standard in cars.
What's wrong with wind-up windows?
I'm just saying, Malaka, you can't even find them these days.
I know. You're trying to give an example of
Yeah,
a humble, inexpensive car.
What is a humble, inexpensive
versus,
car? For today.
So, child number one.
What are you doing? Well, it's cherry.
Well, you asked for it.
I know.
You asked for a cherry drink, and you're making faces like you've got the gimp behind you. Like,
Don't fucking
he
say
likes
that.
those.
Don't
He likes
say
those.
that.
I won't get the gimp.
The gimp's,
this is
the
about
gimp's
the right
getting a
size,
good
isn't it?
play today.
The gimp. It's the gimp.
It's about the right size as well.
You're fucked. Anyway, sorry.
Word Gib.
Let the man talk.
So, child number one picked up had a vehicle, was about 10 to 12 years old.
What year was this, though? As in, what year was...
What year was it and what car did you get?
He got a Falcon GXL, and that was in 2000 and, sorry, Nick, if it is, but I think around 2006-7, somewhere late 2006.
Okay,
So it was a mid-90s car.
Mid-90s car.
Roughly. Yeah.
And I knew that he was going to belt that around a little bit, which he did, and then went and got himself a vehicle once he became a little bit more confident on the road.
That makes
In
sense.
my day,
Yeah.
I had exactly the same type of car. Mine
child
was a
number
Ford
two.
Fairmont.
Yeah, child number two. Hang on.
go,
He picked
go.
up.
I was going to say, sorry, you said mid-2000s?
Yeah.
I got my license early 2000s, and I got an EL, a 1990 EL off my mum.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Hand-me-down.
Well,
Yeah.
this hand-me-down was off his granddad.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, done. Yep.
Child number two, we picked up a Hyundai Elantra.
Oh,
Yeah.
why would you put him in one of those? No, I'm joking.
No, they were not.
It's not
That was
judgment.
actually.
Yeah,
It was
that's the whole point for a
And-
first car. Yeah, great.
and again, he bashed and crapped it all over it, which is fine. And not that he's car savvy these days, but that again was around a 10-year-old car at the time.
Okay.
2000 it was about 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, my first car would have been about 13 years old when I got it.
Yeah,
So
mine was
around-
about the same.
Around that, because you've got to understand that they are going to experiment with their cars. They're not, they're going to scrape here, bump there, and it's.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Don't
That's
buy
what
him
I-
don't buy him a Merc or something.
But that was my logic. That shouldn't you be
What was
buying
your
them?
first car? No, let's go around the
Yeah,
table.
well, I got my license in 87. 85. Was it? And my first car was a 10-year-old car. It was an 85 XB.
XB.
It's mad.
I wish I had it now.
This guy's frothing.
Yeah, Doug Dad's girlfriend.
Yeah, nothing,
License.
it's never too never.
Mate,
Never say never.
License.
Mags.
Never say never. You can buy one.
I got my license in January or February of 1983.
Were they paper licenses?
Yeah, they were.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah,
What
they
was your
were.
first car?
My brother loved paper
Falcon,
licenses.
wasn't it?
So did I.
What?
Yeah,
And
the
I
Falcon.
had an SLR.
Yeah, yeah.
I had an SLR. LH Serrano.
What a first car.
My brother loved the paper license because, you get your first one, which was the preliminary, and then
Yes.
I got my actual one. So that one just goes, hand it over.
I love how
Wasn't there a photo on it?
No, I never had
no,
photos. So
no
my brother would rock up to the bars and
Photos.
stuff. And go, oh yeah, hi Andrew. There you go.
the difference between my brother's first car and my first car, because there's 7 years difference.
Yeah.
His first car was a Kingswood,
That's mad.
and then he had a HQ Monaro,
Oh.
and then he had a Charger. Me, a Honda fucking Prelude.
the pink one, yeah?
The Honda Prelude.
Was that your first car?
The Honda Prelude, yeah.
You got a Prelude as a first car?
Yeah,
The insurance would have been up the arse.
That's what Dad bought. Dad bought me that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Dad bought me it.
What we then did, and it probably still happens today, is that we insure the vehicles.
Yeah.
And we use,
Third party, whatever.
put the boys in as drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, more and more I'm seeing people
Oh, you had
buying
20
25.
RSCB then.
But
So you
going
see,
now
yeah.
towards the reason you brought it up.
Yeah, because I'm seeing parents buy their kids or like finance the majority of it, and they're buying them Beamers and Audis and shit like that.
Yeah.
Where they're luxury vehicles.
P-platers, I'm like, what?
Get an i30. Get a brand new i30 if you have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not a luxury car that's going to cost an arm and a leg to repair,
$70,000
an arm and a leg to insure. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I think you're setting a precedent in the head. Like it's not you know what I mean? Dude, I appreciate every vehicle I've ever had. I'm just making a point.
Yeah, but the point is, again, it comes to generation as well, where I was talking about parenting and all this kind of shit, where they're like, you know, why does this person have a fucking Mercedes?
Oh, there's obviously
whatever.
differences in, you know, this family's, finances are way different to this one. There's that as well.
No.
However, we're trying to draw it back down to values. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
I saw I think it was like probably about a 5-year-old video where a girl, I think a dad bought a girl a Lamborghini Countach, like an 80s Countach, right?
Yeah.
And the girl's like, oh, and you know, the dad comes and she goes, oh, you know, I bought you a car that you wanted, a Lamborghini. And she's like, oh, this is awesome. So I can't wait. Blah, blah, blah. Goes out there, goes, what's this? She's like, it's a Lamborghini Countach. She goes, oh, yuck, take it back. I don't want it. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
But see, this is what I'm saying,
like,
right? If you've got a kid, we know a bit about cars, yeah? So we would have grown up knowing something about what vehicles are worth and whatever. What I'm saying is it sets a precedent. If you get a kid that's never driven a car or owned one, an Audi or a Beamer right out the gate, then that's the standard. This is the entry-level car forever. You know what I mean?
Good point.
And then,
does that make sense?
And then that's a good thing, because when you actually do well, and you know, you said you go to yourself,
Well,
you know
whatever you want.
I can buy a Beamer. It's like a goal that you can set.
Yeah.
But when you already got a fucking top-notch car,
And you've been handed it.
yeah, and it's like, oh, great, I'm going to buy another Beamer. This is
100%.
awesome. You know?
That comes back to, you know, we're talking about values versus finances. You might be doing really well and you can easily afford these cars or whatever.
It's not about
But
that.
you know what? Get your kid a humble car so they understand the point about values and all that. Let them learn. And then at some point, look, it might be a year, it might be 2 months, it might be 2 years, whatever that time frame is.
Yeah.
Then when the time is right, you know, you or they or both of you can upgrade it. But right now, don't just shovel
that's what I'm saying.
entitlement to them. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm in the camp of if you've got the money to buy a kid a Beamer, buy a kid a Beamer. I don't give a fuck, right? It's not about that. But if the kid doesn't actually respect what a Beamer is and doesn't understand, then you're fucked up. As far as I'm concerned, you've actually fucked up. You know what I mean? Again, like I said, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Kid gets handed a $50,000 car out of the gate, doesn't understand it. No, not everyone drives these things. Doesn't know how to change a tire on it. You're fucked.
Nah,
you know what I mean? It sets a shit precedent. That's my opinion anyway.
No, I agree, man. I agree. You can't buy and like the thing is, they expect it because their friends have got Beamers, Mercs, whatever. And I'm like seeing these cars like fucking, you know, top-notch cars that, you know, I'll even question to buy one now. Like, you know, it's like, do I really need a car like that? And they're getting one. I've seen them on their fucking P's.
On their P's.
It's like, what?
It hurts.
Fuck, man. You know what I mean?
It hurts. Doesn't it hurt? It's like, what the, how?
But that's what I'm saying. There's no benchmark anymore there. You know what I mean? You just can't,
I think the one thing I've noted, like the one thing I've taken in stride and seen like to now, right? Everyone's different and what everyone values is different, right? That's fine. As long as we're all striving towards our own levels of success in our heads, like whatever makes us happy towards the end of it, it doesn't matter. Dude, your garage looks different to my garage. Like completely different. You know what I mean? And if I wanted my garage to look like yours, I could hustle and change a few things about my lifestyle to make it look like yours, but I wouldn't be happy. You know what I mean?
Well, each their own, man.
That's
it's
what
all
I'm
relative.
saying. Yeah, relative. Exactly.
So,
Yeah, but
you had a fucking Tirana, a fucking top-notch Tirana. Did you work hard for that car, or was that bought from your parents?
I
mean, that's not a substandard car. That's
a very good question. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I finished my which was HSC, which is the equivalent of VCE exam.
What's still VCE? Still?
VCE, yeah.
I think it's VCE still.
I finished,
but in our days it was called HSC.
It was VCE.
I finished my last exam, and I remember this on the 1st of December. I had already through my dad, and obviously we had a milk bar which helped to. I'd already teed up to go and work at a pub on the 2nd of December. And
That's mad.
And I had worked, so I was working at the pub, which was a great experience, a wonderful experience. When I look back now on my life, No, it's not. It's actually it turned into a Dan Murphy.
Where was it?
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about, yeah.
It was
In
called
Caulfield.
it was Caulfield. It was called the Turf Club Hotel.
Where's that?
Turf Club?
At Caulfield. In Caulfield.
Yeah,
so where's
Princess Highway.
You know where
Caulfield.
Zagamis is now?
Opposite, next to the, what's the hotel there?
Racecourse.
No.
A little bit further down.
Where Zagami's is, there's a Siebel. There's a Siebel hotel next to the Dan Murphys. Where Tattersalls used to be. It still is, on the corner.
Yes.
Yeah. Where Burke Road, at the start of Burke Road.
No. We're talking Taronga Road.
Taronga, yeah, further back. Sorry.
Taronga Road and Dandenong Road.
Yeah. I know where you are.
That was that for me was a wonderful experience because you're out of the bubble. Like we had a family milk bar which we ran for a number of years, but you're in a bubble. But this particular thing came, and I vividly remember that I didn't save all the money, but my parents wanted me to show something before they say, "Yep, this is what I've got." And we'll add on and we'll get you a car. So by the time I got my license, I think I can't even remember, but I was able to contribute something, and it wasn't the money part. It was more about understanding and appreciating what you had.
You worked your ass off and you had saved, yeah.
And I had something, and then my parents helped me, and I had a vehicle. But it was it was a good life lesson for me.
Yeah.
And then you try to instill that into the next brain. Because even with my boys, I remember vividly telling them that up until you complete VCE, I have no expectation of you guys to work. But once you walk through that little trapdoor and you hopefully go on to a uni life or whatever it may be, once you walk in through that, it's a definitive line in my mind. You walk through it, and if you think that you're going to sit on the couch, play PlayStation, and then put your hand out and say, "Give me $20 so I can go out and drink," that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
you can just buy one drink
on the sliding on the other part. If you're working, you're going out and you're short, but I see that you're working, of course I'll help you. So that was always our motto. That was always our belief at home.
My house was sort of the same. My mum said to me after year 12, she said, "You're either working full time or you're studying full time or you're doing both at the same time.
Yeah,
but you've got to do one or the other. There's no sitting around doing jack shit."
Correct.
And my old man already knew that I worked, like I was hustling to work and shit. And he said, if you're about to go out with mates, don't be the guy that doesn't buy a round for drinks. And if you don't have money to buy a round for drinks, come to me and I'll give you enough to buy a round for drinks. Because he saw that I was working.
And again, what was that little nugget that he gave you there? Not just supporting you, but that was a bit of teaching you values as well.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that was the whole point.
On that point, I remember when the boys started first going out, and obviously you're always a little bit nervous, but you sort of trust what you do at home. And I remember saying to them, "My phone is always on. If you're in trouble or if you will call me."
Yeah, I got that too.
I think I got one phone call from one boy and one phone call from the other boy. That was it. But they always knew that the phone was on. And I think that's really, really important. And coming back to what you've said and this general discussion, I think it's the value component is alive and well here, in my mind.
Because that bit your dad told you,
it's great.
It was first he's not judging you, but he's assessing you. So, are you working? Are you studying? Whatever. You want to go out with your mates? That's fine. Have you got enough money? But if you're going to go, make sure you don't welch on your mates.
Yeah.
Have enough money. If you've already got it, great. If you don't, I'm there to help you. But he's always trying to teach you some values. You know what I mean? Because when you go out, that's part of something you'll do. They might shout you a drink. Don't be that guy who doesn't shout a drink. You know what I mean? That type of thing. These are little nuggets of wisdom that add to the whole package of parents trying to teach you values of across the board of life. You know what I mean?
It's amazing how small the bubbles are. And then once people go out into the real world, just how different everyone else is. You know what I mean? I learned that lesson early when when I got my first job after high school at the events mob, because I dealt with backpackers every day. So these heads were coming in, and they were transient. So they'd be there for a day, or they could be there for a year. They were there for Germany, Ireland, a lot of German, a lot of Irish, a lot of English backpackers generally. Yeah, there's a bunch of Israelis that came in. They were only around for about a month. Best guys ever, and they were paratroopers. They just finished their service, so they saw Gaza-esque sort of shit. Then came and started traveling, and just hopped up on a lot of acid, listening to psychedelic trance. But they'd seen the extremes of life. You know what I mean? Then you get all these backpackers that are just living day to day, but just boozing and telling stories about traveling. If you're a Greek kid that's grown up in Clayton, that's never seen past, Preston, you're getting filled with these adventures. It's like, fuck, like you guys have lived. As a 19-year-old or 20-year-old, you're hearing these stories. You know what I mean? I don't know. But then you see, you meet other heads. I think we're all pretty progressively minded, all of us, or at least tolerant. Would I be right to say that?
Yeah,
true.
Considering the age gap.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
But then you go to houses of wogs, especially like even younger than us, and they're like they still haven't left the village yet. They haven't seen past their houses.
Comes back to his point.
Yeah.
And I know there's some people who go out there and beat the drum and go, oh, what are the teachers doing about this and what's the government doing about that and whatever.
Think about the children.
Like I said, your children, yes, they go to school, they get on the bus, they do this, they do that. Yeah, they're going to meet people. Everyone's going to have a little bit of influence on their life. But at the end of the day, don't shirk responsibility off to those people. They're your kids. You parent them.
Shirk's a good word, man. It's underused.
Yeah.
I use it a lot.
Yeah, I like it. Thought I'd sneak that one in there.
It is really, really good stuff because for me now, becoming, the next phase of my life is waiting for a grandchild. So what are we going to be doing with this grandchild? Because I'd love to be I hope that I'm part of his life.
Are you going to start pulling your pants up to your chest, wearing New Balance?
Call myself Harry.
He's got the cane ready.
Yeah.
But, and again, what you want to try and do with this child, obviously,
I could just picture him with the swinging, the bench, the seat at the
Tell
front.
us about that story we heard from Rob about, remember that guy who was a concreter?
He's got like a soft gun.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen to this guy.
So, and this is, we were out to dinner a couple of nights ago, and really, and again, much the same as what we do here, but they're just people from all facets of life, and they've come up with some really interesting stories. And a friend of ours was talking about a friend of his, and coming out of a WOG family, strict, this, that, the other, and the old man was a concreter.
Yeah.
And his son decided to work with his dad. So he had to go through the school of hard knocks, slap him around and all that sort of stuff.
And his childhood, he went through a bit of
absolutely.
Rough.
A little bit rough, and obviously he had points of difference with his parents, which is understandable because we all did. He has a child, so the little one now goes to his granddad, which is his dad, and he was doing something that was annoying him. And
it was actually running around the coffee table.
Yes.
And he kept pushing the button.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Go.
And he said
the father?
the father said once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, stop, and then he just gave him a tap on the back, on the backside. The old man.
The grandpa, yeah.
This grandpa's like fucking midget in comparison to the son.
The grandpa is knee high to a grasshopper. He
launches at the son.
He gets up and launches and takes him by the throat, and he goes and threatened him, and he goes, don't you ever put your hand on my grandson. This is the bloke that was belting the crap out of his own son.
Yeah, so we're just trying to say the difference of how he was and then how he is now with the grandson, yeah.
I can relate to a lot of that because we were front and square with a lot of that sort of stuff, and we need to be a little bit more progressive whilst keeping the values at home. So coming back to our pending grandchild that's going to come, it's not management by stealth. It's about coercing them and allowing the parents to parent and for us to pamper them, but also maintain what the parents want from us.
You just said it. That's key. And I get angry with a lot of mates of mine
that
have their structure at home, and then the same structures at school or whatever, and then when they drop them off at the grandparents run riot, do whatever the fuck they want.
No.
Totally spannering up whatever
No.
they think.
No.
And I say it, man. I say, why don't you fucking put, okay, it's your old man or your
Not
mum pulling it on. Oh, yeah, they're old. They go, okay, get fucked. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
They're going to be around for the next 15, 20 years, metokalo. Okay, you're going to deal with the repercussions of a shitty kid.
No.
Are you kidding?
My son and my daughter-in-law would rip me a new one, and absolutely to their, because here you are, you're battling to try and groom your children how you want them to.
Yeah.
Not to have it all.
You had your shot. You did well.
Correct. We now become the follower. We're no longer the leader, and sometimes some older brigade and older parents,
I can't handle it.
And look, I can see it out of my sphere of people. They find it difficult to hand over the baton.
Yeah, that exactly. The change of the guard, man. You got to do it.
At some point, you will still control your own home.
Yeah.
But when they go and open up their new home, for me, there was a definitive date, especially with my younger son. He opened up his new home. We need to respect what he does. And sometimes I might not agree with everything that they do.
And you can guide him at the right time and place, but you can't interfere. Yeah.
And there's you're always working about what is the fine line, and you're never ever going to get it right or wrong. And I hope my kids are going to listen to this, because I just sent them a note to say you will listen to this. Hopefully they will.
What would their response be? Yes, bye-bye.
No chance. No chance.
No.
But they will also tell you that, I've always tried to have an open door, and if I've done something wrong, they can come and tell me and justify it. I might squeal and whinge and carry on, but, you will have a bit of a head scratch and say, you know what? I was wrong.
Interrupting this program to remind you all to like, share, follow, and subscribe to all our channels and accounts on Spotify, YouTube, and social media. We are only a few hundred followers away from hitting the 1 million mark. Of course, this is an outright lie, but we like to pretend that there are people listening to us. And if you're enjoying this episode or any of our episodes, we'd really appreciate it if you bought us a coffee to help with production costs. The link is available in our profile and episode description. And now, back to the episode. It's weird, because, my old man was hard-headed as fuck, yeah? But I remember two of those sort of moments you're just sort of mentioning it. Like, the first time I had him at my house when I lived in Noble, first time he came around after work, and it was just, I said to him, wait till, I get my furniture, wait till everything's set up. Don't come now, because it's fucking barren. I can't even make a coffee for you.
You'll be sitting on a milk crate or
exactly.
something. Yeah.
You're on a stack of IKEA flat pack. He's like, all right, cool. And he called me one day, Arvo, he's like, hey, I've finished work, are you home? I'm like, yeah, okay, come. I'm about to have dinner or whatever. So he's come, he's walked through the door, and I just remember his face, because he's looking around, because my apartment was brand new, right? I bought it off the plan. He's looked at it, he's like, fuck, he lost his shit. He's like, this is fucking mad, la la la. He's walked in, he's seen my TV mounted on the wall, and the color schemes and shit, and he's like, oh, this is incredible, fuck, la 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 la. Cool. And that was a defining line. Our relationship started changing at that point, because he realized his son was a man on his own accord, right? I was in my late 20s. One time, I'm now remembering this now, he came past, and I had a few people around, and we were watching the Carlton-Collingwood game. So it must have been about, 6, 7 of us. I still remember who was there. Sister was there, brother-in-law was there, neighbour, a mate of mine, and we were all sitting there. And we started having a discussion about the game, the sport, something, I don't know, and it sort of went a bit off track, but it was still on it. But he started firing up, and he wouldn't take no for an answer, or wouldn't admit he was wrong about something. And I remember sort of pulling him in line, mate, can you just relax? I go, it's this is the fact. And he started having a go at me. And I said something to him in regard of sto spiti mu milas etsi, in my fucking house. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I go, relax. And he got up and he cracked the shits. He went to the bathroom, whatever. And my sister's like, and then after that, game finishes and he fucks off. And my sister's like, I think he's upset. He didn't take it. So it's I don't give a fuck. I go, this is my house now. I'm entertaining. He's not going to dress me down in front of my guests. You know what I mean? Over something he's actually wrong about. You know what I mean? We're not 6 years old where we've got to listen to Baba because he thinks he's right. Well, he's not right. He's actually wrong about this. 100% he's wrong.
And there is your example of the changing of the guard.
Yeah.
I might try to, in my mind, I think I'm 100% correct. But if you're adamant at your house and you're entertaining guests, guess
let
what?
it go.
I've got to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and see, like, and that's the other thing. Like, and this is something that I've said to friends as well that are like raising their own kids and then their parents interfere and the parents come up with a line like, oh, well, I raised you, blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm thinking, yeah, and you know what kind of trauma your son is now backpedaling on and trying to undo? Do you know what I mean? Like, we all do the best we can, but it's like, yeah, you did your best and yeah, my stomach was full, you know, and I had everything I needed. But you fucked up as well because I've got a lot of WOG PTSD. And like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And we're all doing, in 2024, we're all aware of that. That's why I say we're all progressive. You know, and we're all trying to keep the mindset. Like, mate, you're fucking, for your age, mate, you're fitter than half the cunts I know. You're fitter than anyone at this table. Do you think the old WOGs would be fucking at a gym? The old cunts.
Oh, no chance.
One generation behind you.
My
We
folks.
saw Paul Hogan Greek version last night. He looked a bit.
Well, with the old Satsada with
Mate, he's still going. Mate, the guy's like,
We're not kidding, because he pulled
we're not
it out of the
kidding.
pocket. He did a bit of
He pulled it out of the back pocket. The Greek version of Paul Hogan, he looked splitting, and he had the handlebars. So he pulls the old Satsada out of the back pocket, and he gives it a nice old comb, the old mustakas.
And I wouldn't mind just having one just to do that.
Yeah.
I'll get the flip life one. You know, the flip life one.
You know,
Switchblade.
these days, all you see coming out of the back pocket is the mobile phone.
Literally.
And then I see the old Satsada coming out of the back pocket, and I said to him, have a look at this.
I must admit that part. I mean, it was a bit hectic and everything, but I miss because we haven't done it for a while. You know, when there's it's a just lively environment, and there's people going around everywhere. And I haven't seen him for ages. Oh, look, there's a Greek Paul Hogan. There's this, there's that. You know, just saw a lot of shit going on at the same time. That was good yesterday.
I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, to further that point. You know what I mean? Yeah, the parents did their best, but they didn't get everything right, and we're proof of that. I've had to undo, and like you said, you're at someone else's house, you shut your mouth. I remember my old man so many times blues would just start because he didn't know how to shut his mouth. Like when he was
my older son, is his common catch cry to me. He goes, "Know your place."
Yeah,
and it's true. Sometimes even with me, you want to, Dad, know your place.
Yeah,
and that is so true. Sometimes you just got to bite your tongue, and then by the time you walk out,
but you're a different generation than our parents.
Oh, but even with that, even within generations, there's different characters of people.
True.
Some people just don't know when to shut up. Some people are more respectful.
99% of our parents' generation would have been like, those ones.
Con, we have touched on this before, and we are, I classify myself, and my cousin said this many years ago, where we are the sandwich generation of our parents to the new. And don't forget, the fundamental difference, and we've touched on this before, is our parents, a large portion of our parents, did not have to look after their own parents because they migrated.
Yeah, they might
very important because
100% I agree.
Because sometimes they talk about things, you're obligated to do this or you're obligated. We're not obligated what? Like you were obligated.
Yeah.
You got up and left.
Yeah, you left them all behind.
And you've left all the, and there were other siblings that were carrying the can. Significant comment here because, and I can say it, my dad and I had this conversation, where my dad actually said to me, "You are obligated to look after us." And my reply was, "Like you were?" And then he said, "Oh, when my parents got sick, I paid." Yeah, you paid. Acknowledge that. But it's different between you going there for 4 or 5 weeks and then your siblings are still carrying the can. I carry that can today. And I'm not out for violins, but that's fact.
Yeah, 100%.
And that comment about you're obligated, I will never say to my boys. It is what it is.
No, you shouldn't.
Whichever way it's going to be, there is no way I will burden myself on my boys. I don't have that expectation. And that's where we've got to break this chain of expectation between that generation, and I know what we're saying here, towards what
the problem is? I've got a lot of friends, people I know that have got elderly parents, like in their 80s and 90s, and we live in Australia where the healthcare system, the social setup is so fucking well. It's like a well-oiled machine in some ways, and it falls short in the others. But there's help out there. assisted care and stuff for elderly people. You know what I mean? So if you've got an elderly parent that needs help, you can easily apply for like grants, government subsidies.
But sometimes it's
I mean that's
as well, man.
I mean that's based now, Tim. Where my dad, and again about accepting the change of the guard.
Yeah,
they could not let go of changing of the guard. However, it took for him to be in his mid-90s to acknowledge that there is support mechanisms around the age, and when they want to keep the elderly at home, that all these support mechanisms are in place, and they are actually very good. Andrew's mum's the same.
Yeah, mum's 75. She's looking at that now.
Oh, the home support.
All the home support.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic.
but they don't trust anyone. They don't want anyone.
Well, guess what?
Mum,
It's funny enough.
my mum
my
can be
dad's
as
changed.
stubborn as anybody, but at the same time, I give her credit. When I tell her shit about don't do this, don't do that, she respects what I tell her.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this stuff as well, as long as she sees that they're doing what they're supposed to and they're helping her out, she acknowledges that too. No, mum doesn't care about that. She doesn't care.
No, but like I've heard of same scenarios where the parents don't. It's like it's it's like, mate, I got my life to run. I can't be here on hand and foot.
Very hard.
There's professionals that can do this.
I've got a wonderful set of neighbours who really, I can't thank them enough, and I'd like to say that out about the little bits and pieces where they'll jump in and they will assist me. And for that, I am forever grateful.
Yeah.
But you can't have that expectation about my next door neighbour or me or whatever it is.
If they called you now and say, we need help, something's happening, mate, you would drop your
100%.
mic and go.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's what it is. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
But
always.
In terms of the 24/7 grind, especially with our aging parents, you can't have that expectation on children or siblings or whatever it is. There are a plethora of support mechanisms out there and support services that you got to tap into. Yes, it's a bit of work to get it done, but once it's there,
you have to.
Yeah, but again, here's another one, right? And this is again, I've seen it across the board. And this is recent as well. That's why it's fresh in my mind. A mate of mine is buying a house, 10 Ks from here because his old lady doesn't want him going too far, because God forbid
she's
something,
putting pressure on him.
God forbid something happens, right? He's too far. I'm like, hang on, man.
My son's going an hour out. Okay?
Yeah.
He's gone an hour out. But you know what he said to me? And he said to his mum, and I say it straight. He says, have you got more funds for me to come closer for the time being? But whatever they're doing, it's sustainable.
They've got a roof over their head.
But it's sustainable, Con.
A mate of
You're not
mine,
going to put yourself in $1 million debt and they haven't got fucking enough money to live.
having
That's
this
the whole
conversation.
point. It's back to the cars. It's about putting things in perspective.
well, my mate, like the latest one, this is why it's fresh. My mate wanted to buy up towards like Croydon sort of way, right? Because you can find house and land, right?
Yep.
Like at least a house with a bit of yard and all that. He's forced to buy closer to here along the Pean Highway an apartment with a stupid mortgage because it's as tolerable as the mother's going to take. I said, fuck me, man. I go, what's the difference? I go, if something happens to, say, your old man, touch wood, she's going to call the ambulance first and then you'll make your way down.
Yeah.
You're adding 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's unnecessary pressure
and
on the
I said to him, my advice to him was, mate, your parents have got maybe 15, 20 years, right, left before there are no more decisions to be made or expectations to be had. So you've got to live your life half fucking cut with more stress, financial. No. You're not living your life the way you want to live it. For what? Accessibility. That's a joke.
Not only on
comes
him,
back to
his wife, his fucking or
everything.
Partner, everything.
It comes back to what we've been discussing about what are the expectations, and you've got to manage these expectations. You've got to be realistic about your expectations, and you can't be this word called selfish.
No.
And unfortunately, most of that generation, I'm not going to say all, but most of them, they were fucking selfish. I'll get a phone call from mum. Ela, πατέρας σου στη θέλει. What does he want? Ela. All right, I'll go there. What is it past the internet and look up this? I go to the house and jump on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, There's nothing around them. They're the aura. It's like you have to come running when I need something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Again, it comes back to the fact that they, and I say it with the utmost respect to a lot of these people, because they came out here and pioneered a lifestyle for us. I acknowledge that and respect that immensely. But the one thing that they didn't do was nurture their parents and look after their parents. They didn't do that.
There were no expectations other than to survive. But it was on their back.
They didn't do that. And when their parents got sick, they thought by getting in the plane and maybe throwing a little bit of money towards it, that was their perceived, look at me. That's not enough.
Yeah.
Money and this perceived coming there and being Captain Horatio doesn't cut it. It's the grind.
100%.
It's the grind.
I think my brother was like, talking about maybe moving to Queensland, right? And she goes, "Oh, you're going to be so far away from me and all this kind of stuff." I'm like, you moved the other way, in Australia where your mum's in Greece. Like, I mean, are you serious, man? Like, think about what you're fucking saying.
2 hours away,
of the word
24 hours away.
Yeah. It's
Hello?
like, you serious, man? She goes, look, mate, pull out. But they didn't have parents to pull them in because they weren't around.
Exactly right.
Like, look, they left in their 20s and 30s. I understand. But you know what? I do believe, even in our 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, your parents still have some work, like they still fine-tune stuff. Even at our age.
You're a sounding board,
like sometimes.
You've got to be this sounding board.
Your parents still do a little bit of work in your 20s and 30s.
Of course
so,
they do.
you know
Of
what I
course
mean?
they do.
So they're gone.
What are you talking about?
They've gone. So my
look
parents
at us. My mum would still, not because she feels like I need it, but if something comes along, she goes, "Oh, I think you might need a bit of guidance here. I'm listening to what you're saying. I think I can throw you a bit." They'll still add a little bit of...
correct.
Look, my father's 96 and we'll still talk about some stuff.
Yeah, having to retire from like the head position doesn't mean that you're now useless.
Yeah,
that's it.
correct.
You still have experience. You still have opinion.
But they didn't have parents saying, "Where are you? Why aren't you here? Like, I need you here in half an hour." They never had that.
No.
We only have that here because our parents are around.
And let me say about the changing of the guard, right? We were talking about this again last night. It's interesting how it's all evolved. Andrew and I were in positions where we were able to guide a football club. We were the number 1 and number 2 positions for a while there. And we acknowledged we did some work, and then we said together, that's it for us. And you're changing of the guard and be able to give the reins to the next person, because we're only custodians. And it's the same concept here again. We're only custodians, but have the ability to let the reins go. And I think that's probably the hardest thing to do.
But sometimes it's good to have that because you can actually see your product of your work from a different perspective. You can actually see it.
How interesting is
You
that?
can actually appreciate it. Yeah.
Correct.
How interesting is that? And that's exactly what we were speaking about today. And these are really good discussion points, and I really hope that a lot of people that are going to have a listen to all this, there's no right or wrong answers here,
correct,
but at least what you do is you plant the seeds, and we're able to give our experiences and our real life experiences, both with our parents, our friends, and everything that goes around us, some pointers about sharing our experiences, and then they can grasp on that and say, well, I'll take a piece of this, or I'll take a piece of that. Because there's no right or wrong answer here.
No, there isn't.
And there never will be. But you've got to be able, and for me, it's always been the mirror trick. And what I mean by the mirror trick, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, have you done the best thing you've done? Exactly there. And if you're comfortable with that, if you've done your best and genuinely think that you've done your best, that should be okay.
Mate, I do believe everyone can do with a bit of fine-tuning.
I've said this. I've been saying this for 10 years. Character refinement should be the number 1 priority for every single person.
Yeah,
no one's
100%.
ever perfect.
No one's. That's what I'm
100%.
saying. I'm saying, like, literally everyone needs a good fine-tuning. Look
at our work. I mean, look at our work environment as well. When I started work to where work is today, if you're not prepared to fine-tune yourself, if you're not prepared to accept the cultural evolution of things, if you're not prepared to accept that there are some factors there that you might not necessarily agree with, but that's the modern society. Well, guess what? You won't be working. And you need to take that all on board to say, hey, I have to manoeuvre myself around the culture that I've accepted to go and work in.